All right, so today we're diving into the world of AI. More specifically, how to make language models smarter.
Okay.
And I don't just mean, writing a catchy jingle or answering trivia questions. I mean actually making smart decisions.
Yeah.
So, like, really thinking things through.
Right. And that's a big leap from where we are now. Because you see, current language models are incredible at what they do, but they often rely on what we call chain of thought prompting, which essentially means they follow a single line of reasoning.
So they're like that friend who follows a recipe to the letter, even when it's clear they're missing an ingredient or two.
Exactly. They might produce impressive results at first, but they can get stuck if there's a problem or a change in the plan. They haven't really been able to adapt or think critically about the best way forward.
And that's where this new research paper on language agent tree search comes in, right?
Yeah.
I have to admit, the title alone makes me think we're about to unlock some next-level AI.
It's definitely a game changer. What LATs does is introduce this idea of a tree search approach to language models. Imagine a tree with multiple branches, each representing a different path or solution.
So instead of just charging down one path, the AI can now explore different options.
Precisely. It's like giving the AI the ability to strategize, to look ahead and consider the consequences of each potential move. Just like a chess player analyzes the board before making a move, LATs allows these models to think several steps ahead.
Wow, that's a huge shift. It's like we're teaching AI how to learn from its mistakes just like humans do, which, let's be honest, sometimes takes us a while to figure out.
Absolutely. And this ability to learn from mistakes is a crucial part of LATs. It's not just about exploring different paths, it's about understanding why some paths are better than others and adjusting accordingly.
So it's not starting from scratch every time it hits a roadblock.
That's the beauty of LATs. It takes what's already great about language models and adds this crucial layer of strategic decision-making, making them far more adaptable and intelligent in the process.
This is already blowing my mind, and we're just getting started. But before we get too far ahead of ourselves, I'm curious about how this actually works in practice. The paper mentions something called self-reflection, which sounds a little too human for comfort.
Don't worry, we're not talking about AI having an existential crisis here. Self-reflection, in this context, means that after attempting a task, the language model takes a step back.
So it's like a little post-game analysis.
Exactly. The AI analyzes its own performance, tries to understand where it might have gone wrong, and then generates feedback to improve its next attempt. It's constantly learning and refining its approach based on its own experiences.
That's incredible. It's like having a built-in mentor constantly pushing it to be better. But what about feedback from the outside world? How does LAT incorporate real-world data or experiences into its decision-making process?
That's where the agent part of language agent research comes in. It's not just about self-reflection, but also about interacting with and learning from the environment around it.
Okay, so it's not just stuck in its own digital echo chamber. It can actually take in new information and adjust its approach.
Exactly. Let's say the AI is writing code. With LATs, it can receive feedback by actually running the code and seeing if it works or not. It's like getting a grade on a test and using that feedback to study for the next one.
So it's not just about understanding the theory. It's about applying that knowledge and seeing what works in the real world, which, let's be honest, is something we could all get better at.
Absolutely. And this ability to connect theoretical knowledge with real-world feedback is what makes LATs so groundbreaking. It's a huge step towards developing AI that can not only process information, but also understand its implications and adapt accordingly.
This is all incredibly exciting, but I have to ask, what does this mean for the average person? How will LATs impact our daily lives? Give us the rundown.
Well, imagine a world where AI can help you with complex tasks, not just by following pre-programmed instructions, but by actually understanding your needs and adapting to unexpected situations.
Okay, now you're speaking my language. Paint me a picture of what kind of real-world scenarios are we talking about?
Let's start with something we all do: online shopping.
Online shopping. Now, there's something we can all relate to. Does this mean we're one step closer to AI taking over our wish lists?
Well, not quite taking over, but you could say they're becoming much savvier shoppers. The researchers actually tested LATs in a simulated online shopping environment. It's called Web Shop.
Okay, so tell me, how did it do? Did it end up with a bunch of random stuff in its cart, like some of us?
Actually, it was surprisingly good at sticking to the task. The AI was given specific criteria, like finding a product within a certain price range or with specific features. And what's fascinating is that LATS significantly boosted the AI's success rate compared to traditional models.
So it was able to find what it needed. and actually make a decision based on the criteria it was given. No more endless scrolling or impulse buys. I could get used to that.
Exactly. And this wasn't a simple keyword search either. The web shop environment is designed to mimic real-world online shopping, with multiple pages, product descriptions, and filtering options. It really highlights how LATS helps AI navigate complex information landscapes.
It's like giving the AI a map and a compass instead of just a destination. Speaking of complex, the research paper also mentioned LATS being used for something called hot pot QA. What is that exactly?
Ah, yes. Hotpot QA is a dataset specifically designed for testing complex question answering. What makes it different from a simple Google search is that the AI needs to synthesize information from multiple sources to find the answer.
So it's less about knowing the right answer and more about knowing how to find it.
Exactly. It's like piecing together a puzzle, rather than just finding the missing piece. And on this front, LATS consistently outperformed other state-of-the-art methods.
That's impressive. It sounds like LATS is helping AI think more like a researcher, carefully considering different sources and perspectives. But what about more practical skills? You mentioned earlier that AI can even generate computer code. Did LATS play a role in that as well?
It certainly did, and this is where it gets really interesting. The researchers tested LATS on a challenging programming benchmark. It's called Human Eval.
Human evil. That sounds intense.
It is. It's designed to test an AI's ability to write code that actually works, not just code that looks good on paper. And what's remarkable is that LATs, without any specialized training on coding, achieved state-of-the-art results.
Hold on. So you're telling me that this AI, using LATS, was able to write code as well, if not better than programs specifically designed for that task. That's incredible. What's the catch?
There's no catch. That's the beauty of LATs. It's not about pre-programming the AI with specific skills. It's about giving it the ability to learn and adapt to any problem you throw at it. It's like the difference between giving someone a fish and teaching them to fish.
Now you're making me hungry. But I see what you mean. This is about empowering AI to be more independent, more adaptable, more well-intelligent. It begs the question, where do we go from here? What's the next frontier for LATS and for AI in general?
That's the real question, isn't it? This research is still in its early stages, but it opens up a world of possibilities. Imagine a future where AI isn't just a tool, but a collaborator, helping us solve complex problems in every aspect of our lives.
Okay, now you're really getting my imagination going. We've covered a lot of ground here today. But before we get ahead of ourselves, let's bring it back down to earth for a moment. What are some concrete examples of how LAs could be used in the near future? What can our listeners look forward to?
Well, one area where LAs could have a huge impact is in fields that require complex planning and decision-making in real time. Take autonomous vehicles, for example.
Self-driving cars. Now that's a deep dive I'm ready for.
These vehicles need to constantly process information from their surroundings, anticipate potential hazards, and make split-second decisions to ensure the safety of everyone on the road. LATS could be the key to making these systems even more robust and reliable.
So we're not just talking about smoother lane changes. We're talking about actually equipping these cars with the ability to make complex judgment calls. That's a game changer for the future of transportation.
Exactly. And it's not just about cars. Imagine LATs being used in healthcare to develop personalized treatment plans based on a patient's unique medical history and genetic makeup.
So instead of a one-size-fits-all approach, we're talking about AI helping doctors tailor treatments to each individual patient. That could revolutionize healthcare as we know it.
Absolutely. And let's not forget about education. LAT could be used to create personalized learning experiences for students, adapting to their strengths and weaknesses in real time.
Wow, so imagine a world where AI tutors can adjust the lesson plan on the fly, making sure every student is engaged and challenged at their own pace. That's incredible.
It is. And these are just a few examples. The potential applications of LATs are truly vast and span across every industry imaginable.
It's like we're on the cusp of this new era of AI, one where it's not just about automating tasks, but about amplifying human intelligence and creativity.
Precisely. It's about building systems that can learn, adapt, and evolve alongside us, helping us tackle some of the world's most pressing challenges.
Well, on that inspiring note, I think it's time to wrap up our deep dive into language agent tree search.
It sounds like we've covered a lot today.
We've gone from AI struggling to follow a recipe to AI potentially revolutionizing how we drive, receive healthcare, and even learn. That's some serious progress.
It really is. And the most exciting part is that this is just the beginning.
Exactly. Who knows what incredible breakthroughs await us in the world of AI? But one thing's for sure, it's going to be an exciting journey. So until next time, keep exploring. And we'll see you on the next deep dive.